This is IGN. It looks like PlayStation 2 will remain the best-selling console of all time. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, Sony has said it has yet to decide when to launch the PlayStation 6, nor how much it'll cost, as memory shortages continue to hit hard. In an investor-focused Q&A meeting, Sony said it sold 1.5 million PS5 units in the fourth quarter ending March 31st, 2026, down from the 2.8 million it sold the same quarter the previous year. PS5 is now near the 100 million sold mark, although it continues to lag behind the PS4. Sony's projections for the PS5 in the current financial year are based on the volume of memory it can secure at reasonable prices, the company added. All this comes as the PS5 nears its 6th birthday, and with the launch of guaranteed system seller GTA 6 in November getting ever closer. GTA 6 launches on console only and is expected to drive a surge of hardware sales despite recent price increases. Meanwhile, Nintendo says it will sell fewer Switch 2 consoles over the next 12 months, following the device's explosive launch last year. In its latest financial results briefing, the company said this was because Switch 2 sales were, quote, more concentrated in the launch year in comparison to previous hardware systems. And indeed, Switch 2's early sales have been remarkable. It is Nintendo's fastest-selling console ever, despite a sales slowdown in the US and some European countries toward the end of 2025. Nintendo now expects to sell 16.5 million Switch 2 consoles over the coming financial year, down from the 19.86 million it has sold since launch. Nintendo has forecasted just 2 million more sales for its aging Switch 1 console over the coming financial year, leaving it still several million short of PlayStation 2's record-breaking total. PS2 first released in Japan on March 4, 2000, followed by North America on October 26, 2000, and Europe on November 24, 2000, officially remains the best-selling console of all time, with Sony's count placing it at 160 million units sold. Switch 1, meanwhile, now stands at 155.92 million lifetime sales, with its annual total increasing at an ever slower pace each year. In its latest financial results, Nintendo revealed it had sold 3.86 million Switch 1 consoles during the past financial year. Switch 1 console sales have been falling every year since 2021, and this latest total marks a further decrease of 64% on the 10.8 million units that Nintendo shifted in 2024. All of this places Switch 1 currently at 4.08 million consoles shy of the PS2, and still 2.8 million short even in a year's time. Could Switch 2 still beat PS2 in 2028? While technically possible, the console will then be well over a decade old, and Switch 2 will have been launched for several years. Nintendo, however, has shown no sign of discontinuing its aging hardware, perhaps with that PS2 lifetime sales figure in mind. Indeed, it's hard to shake the feeling there's some rivalry going on over that top spot. Remember that Sony only upped its official PS2 sales tally a couple of years ago, when then PlayStation boss Jim Ryan declared the 24-year-old console had actually sold 160 million during a podcast appearance. Prior to that, the machine had long been listed as only managing 155 million sales, a target Switch 1 looked close to eclipsing, in which it has indeed now surpassed. Looking at the past year's hardware sales in detail, a third of the Switch 1 consoles that Nintendo sold were in Japan. Roughly the same amount was sold across both North and South America combined, with the same amount again across Europe and the rest of the world. It's clear that Japan remains a hugely important territory for Nintendo, as well as being the company's homeland. It is also a market which strongly favors handheld or hybrid consoles. But the latest financial results also brought word of price rises, including for Switch 1, specifically in Japan. While Switch 2 console costs are set to be raised globally, Nintendo stated that it would also be increasing the price of Switch 1 in its home country. This, coupled with the fact that Switch 2 is now well established in the region, makes the aging console's sales future even less certain, even in a country where it remains hugely popular. As for PlayStation, if Switch doesn't beat PS2, Sony's retro console may remain the best-selling gaming hardware for some time. PS5 sales are currently trending behind PS4 at the same point in its life cycle, Sony admitted, amid a gloomy global picture where console costs are only continuing to increase. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcasts through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.